Hello, welcome back to LK Tuition. My name's Lucas and today we're going to look at solving quadratic equations graphically. So given a graph of a quadratic equation, we can look at it and solve it. Hope you're well and let's get cracking. Alright then, so first of all just a quick recap on quadratic equations. So we've got that the highest, well, in a quadratic expression, this is an expression whose highest power is x squared, and they can always be written in the form ax squared plus bx plus c. So it's any expression that's got the highest power x squared, that is quadratic. And you can just turn this into an equation by setting y equal to the quadratic expression. So y equals ax squared plus bx plus c. Okay, so let's have a look at quadratic graphs. So if your x squared term is positive, so if you've got, I don't know, just x squared or 3x or 50x squared, then your graph will look like a smiley face. And if it's negative, so minus 2x squared, minus 7x squared, whatever you want to look at, it will be a sad face. So here on the left, we've got an example of a positive one. So this looks like a smiley face like that. And this one's negative, so we've got that frowny face like that. Okay, so solutions to quadratic equations. So a quadratic equation will have one of the following. So it's either going to have two solutions, one solution, or no solution. So let's just explain that with this graph. So for example, let's first look at the line. Let's have a look at the line y equals 4. Okay, so we're looking at this here and we're saying that this equation is going to be equal to 4. Now, where does that graph cross that line y equals 4? Well, the graph crosses the line here and also here. So this equation equaling to 4 would give two solutions, which are actually going to be minus 2 by the look of it. So that is minus 2 and plus 2. So y equals 4, that's going to give us two answers. So that's an example where there are two solutions. Now there's always ever only going to be one equation or kind of one number that it'll equal to where there is one solution, and that's right at this turning point. So here, if I can draw it properly, here we've got the line y equals 0, and here it just touches the quadratic, the graph of the quadratic equation, it just touches it there at that one point. So that solution would be x is 0. So that only has one solution. And then there are some cases where there are no solutions at all. Like if I go lower than y equals 0, so if I go down here, let me grab a different colour. So let's just go for instance, y is minus 2. Is it going to let me change colour? There we go. So let's let that be y equals minus 2. Well, that doesn't touch the graph at all, does it? It just kind of sails underneath it. So that quadratic equation equaling minus 2 will not have a solution. If you do A-level maths, they do have things called imaginary solutions or complex solutions. But for GCSE, we don't need to worry about that. There are just some cases when it will not have a solution. But most of the time in GCSE, you'll only have to deal with either two solutions or one solution. But that's just to give you an idea of what it looks like in a graph. Okay, so here are a couple of questions. Let's start off with this one. Feel free to pause the video and have a go yourself. Otherwise, we'll do it together. Okay, so here is the graph of y equals x squared minus 2x minus 3. And the first bit says write down the coordinates of the turning point of the graph. Well, the turning point is just this bit here. Yeah, so it's the bit where it turns. Pretty good name for it, I reckon. And what are the coordinates of that? Well, the x coordinate, is between 0 and 2. So the x coordinate is 1 because it's halfway between 0 and 2. And the y coordinate is minus 4. Okay, so that's the turning point of the graph. And then part B says, what are the roots of the equation x squared minus 2x minus 3 equals 0? Well, by roots, they just mean what are the solutions to this. So x squared minus 2x minus 3 is 0. Well, equaling 0, that's going to be this line here. That's when y equals 0. And what are our solutions? So we want to find the solution. So let me just rub that out because I've made a bit of a mess of that. But it's the x-axis basically. And so the 2 points where it crosses are here and here. Not quite sure what my pen did there. So that to me looks like, well, one of them, so x is -1, the first one. And then the second one is between 2 and 4, so the other one is 3. So we've got two solutions there, x is -1 and x is 3. By drawing the graph of y equals x squared minus 2x minus 5, estimate the roots of the equation x squared minus 2x minus 5 equals 0. Okay, so let's just draw this graph. There are other videos where we go through drawing quadratic graphs. So let's just get some x and y values and we'll see what kind of shape this graph takes. So let's just put in, do we want to do everything? Yeah, why not? So let's just go from -3 to 3. So -3, -2, -1, 0, 1, 2, 3. Great. So I'll do my little table. So I'll just do a couple where I kind of sub them in properly and then I'll do the rest in my head. So let's just put in -3 into this equation. So we've got x squared minus 2x minus 5. So let's just put -3 into there. So we've got -3 squared minus 2 times -3 minus 5. Well, -3 squared is 9. -2 times -3 is +6. Minus 5, and that's going to give us 10. So when x is -3, y is 10. So we can put that point there. So let's just do the rest then. So let's put -2 in there. So we're going to get -2 squared, which is 4. -2 times -2 is 4, so that's 8. 4 plus 4 is 8. Minus 5 is 3. So for -2, we've got that it is 3, which would be about there. Then for -1, we're going to get 1 plus 2 is 3, minus 5 is -2. So that would be about there. Then we've got 0, which is just going to be -5. Then let's pop that in. Then we've got 1, which is going to be, so 1 squared minus 2 times 1 is -1, minus 5 is -6. So that is going to be about there. Then, I don't know if my head's going to get in the way. It's if we put, let's just double check that. 1 squared is 1 minus 2, yeah, okay. Then if we put in 2, 2 squared is 4, minus 2 times 2 is 0, and then -5. So that is going to be, so yeah, I'm a bit in the way there, so I'll put the thing there just so you can kind of see it. And then, so that would be -5. And then for 3, 3 squared is 9, minus 2 times 3 is 6, which is 3 minus 5 is -2. Okay. So this isn't a great example because we don't actually see the graph crossing the x-axis again, but let's just stick in another one. So I know that 4, if we put 4 here, just because the graph is symmetrical, I know that 4 would give us a 3 there, so that shows us it going over the line, but I've obviously picked a bit of a dodgy question. But let's just draw this graph then. So this is going to come down like this and then up like this. And where does it cross the x-axis? Well, it crosses it there and somewhere over here. Okay, so if we only want to make an estimate, so it doesn't have to be completely accurate. So the first one I'm going to guess is going to be -1.4, something like that. And then 3 points, let's say 3.6. Why not? We're just making a guess. But yeah, it's unusual for a question to give you something where you can't see on the graph where it crosses 0. So I'm not quite sure what went wrong there. But yeah, but I hope you get the idea of it. I hope this has been helpful. This is LK Tuition. Please like and subscribe, and I'll see you soon for some more maths videos.